Welcome home, Raiders. Tonight, I really hope you had a good Pilgrim's Bounty, but now it's time to tuck in for the real stuff, because CTR is bringing you the BNN. That's right, it's time for the Battlenet News. Yes, hello everyone. From the CTR Command Post in Sacramento, California, today is November 27th, 2018, and it is now 7:08 in the p.m. Pacific time. Thanks for joining us from all around the Blizzard universe. Hello, my name is Pat Krane. I am your host, and as always, the players are here. And I'll start with the guy from Lords of the Storm. It's a show about Heroes of the Storm. I'm sure you've heard about it before. It's Gizmo!
Hello, Pat. Hello, chat. And hello, Thyst. Sorry, it didn't rhyme. Hello, cool cat, Thyst. There we go. All
right. And as you alluded to, also from Lagging Balls and other such shows, it's Thyst. Hello, Thyst.
Other such shows?
Other such shows.
Ah, yes. Those shows.
Those shows. That's right.
That's right. Another rhyme.
Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. Exactly. All the time. So we do have a lot to actually talk about tonight because we missed last week, and that was my bad. My tech failed horribly. Actually, it failed very well. It failed very, very well. And we couldn't bring you a show last week, but I fixed it. Running around all day today, trying to make sure it's all good to go. So, you know.
I think those are all excuses because it was just going to be you and I on the last show.
I know, I was looking forward to it.
No, you weren't. You couldn't take it.
I was looking forward to it because we were just going to chat and, you know, whatever. And it was going to be totally cool and just kind of riffing off of each other and all that kind of stuff. It would have been great.
Sure.
We've done it before.
Smooth Pat.
This. Let me pour some coffee on these wires. They need water.
Well, I mean, we've done that stuff before, like on the LB stream and stuff like that. So
yeah, I just like it to press your buttons, Pat Krane.
I know you do. Well, welcome everybody. Welcome Twitch chat. Welcome folks at home or wherever you are. Thanks for joining us for another fun-filled show. And we've got a lot to talk about as far as WoW goes. But first, let's catch up with the guys and see what's going on. Gizmo, it's been forever since I saw you sleeping at BlizzCon. And,
I saw that too because he sent me a photo of it.
And I just want to know how you are and what you've been up to and see what's going on.
Yeah, I am good. I'm a very busy Gizmo, but been gaming a lot, and holy crap, there's too much to play right now. Like there's a lot, and there's a lot what? That I haven't played that I want.
Like what are you playing that you are, you know, dividing your time with?
Playing a lot of Diablo on Switch.
Okay.
Playing a lot of Pokemon. Playing a lot of Path of Exile, Rocket League. I'm back into Rocket League.
Rocket League is awesome right now. I don't know. I got hooked into it again because after the move, I got my controllers all hooked up, and I'm like, yeah, I should play Rocket League.
Yeah, and they're doing the Rocket Pass now, which is really cool. It just ended, actually.
Yeah.
But so yeah, that's, and then of course, Heroes of the Storm, Warframe just came out on Switch. Switch is killing it right now. Switch is doing really good.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, seriously, just wait till Smash Brothers comes out in a couple weeks.
Oh
my God.
Yes, so. I am so glad that I bought a Switch just for this holiday season, pretty much.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, it's great. I love it.
That's pretty cool. Thyst, how about you? What have you been up to lately?
Working.
Got a new gig.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Yes, I work for, it's not IMGN Media, it's Imagine Media. I learned that the second week of work.
Nice.
I didn't say it in front of anybody.
Nice.
But yeah, no, I get to curate a bunch of gaming and esport memes for various publishers like Snapchat and Instagram, and they're sending me to the Video Game Awards in a couple weeks. Yeah, and yeah, it's pretty cool. It's like a legit job, like an actual like adult job, and I just have to convince everybody that I'm an adult.
Good luck with that one. All right. But how's the gaming side of things? How's the raid teams that you're on and all that kind of stuff?
Well, I just got over being sick, so I haven't raided with my main team since before BlizzCon, so it's been a little weird. But this week we're gonna get down Heroic Cahoon finally. And I can be a part of that, so I'm really excited for that. And I've just been playing a lot of Overwatch. It's nice, like when you're super busy and or sick, it's hard to like necessarily get into WoW because there's stuff to do.
It just takes a long time. You got to invest
and like
time.
That's fine. Like I can grab some island expeditions, I can grab some random battlegrounds, and that's fine. And I do, and I have. Right. But like, just chilling out. Going into Overwatch, winning, losing a little bit, just having fun in the arcade and stuff it's really nice to have just some like hopefully some instant gratification, or at least some really good games in which you tried your best.
Right.
Because you don't always have to win to have fun. Dude, you just have to try your best.
Well, and the nice thing too is, especially with Overwatch, I mean, I just basically when I'm just screwing around, I go in for quick play and I go in for like arcade, whatever the arcade is. And last night I was doing some quick play. And who do I run into on the opposite team but Randy Deluxe himself?
Oh, the Deluxe.
And
you told me, and I'm like, let me guess. You guys are both Junkrat, right?
Yeah, we were opposing Junkrats.
Of course.
And
it's like all my friends that I play with are Junkrat mains.
I'm a Hanzo main, so
it's fun. Do you need healing? So yeah, it was pretty cool, and it was a good game. It was a good game, not a great game.
Did you beat him?
No, they won.
Oh,
they won, but it was an overtime match, and I really tried to put more into it to try to kill him at least once or twice. And I don't think I did. He killed me once. I know for sure. Maybe
probably
more
on purpose.
Maybe more than that. I'm not sure.
Back in the early days of Overwatch, I was a part of some kind of like streamer charity thing, and Randy was a part of it too. And that was before we were friends. And he was a Mercy main back then, and I was a budding Diva main. And I was super nervous around him, even in game, and he didn't even know who I was. But I killed him so many times, and I wasn't going for him specifically, but like the opportunity to kill him just kept coming up, and obviously I would take it because I'm trying to like, impress everybody else that I'm playing with. So I felt bad. And I was hoping that like, if we ever did talk again, he wouldn't remember me.
Right.
Or at least not remember what I did to him.
The first time I actually ran into him was in WoW, where I played, it was the boss after the PvP thing in ICC days. What the heck was it? Archeron or Archeron? What was the bonus boss that you got every week for the PvP side of things? I can't remember. Anyway, he was leading a group through that, and I went, "Oh, wouldn't that be so cool if I played with Randy?" And it was like totally nothing. I built myself up for it, and it was over in 5 minutes or whatever. And I'm like, oh. Kind of a letdown.
Don't you hate that when you build it up and it only lasts 5 minutes?
Yeah. Yep. Certainly do. Anyway, we should probably move on to what's actually going on in the world of Warcraft and other places as well. But I do want to start with something that's kind of cool that's on the gear store right now.
Let's roll.
Oh, wait, that's too low. Hold on one second.
Let's roll.
Thank you, Chen. Yes, it's Black Friday at the Gear Store, which is now through the 30th. So get over there now, especially if you love Overwatch League. If you love Overwatch League and you want to get all of the jerseys and clothing ever, all of last season's stuff, it's 75% off. And,
75.
and I think that's all of it. All of the Overwatch League stuff is.
Yep.
And then there's other stuff that's like 50 or 30% off or whatever. So, but that's big news. And you guys were talking about it before the show.
Yeah, I was super stoked. So I got a Overwatch jersey, like one of the nice jerseys, a snapback, New Era hat, a Heroes t-shirt, Overwatch League jogging pants, and a mug for like $50.
Yeah,
It's
I know.
nuts.
I've got 7 things in the basket right now, and I don't know what I'm actually going to get, if I'm going to get it all or not.
Just get all of it. Are you kidding me?
But it's there. It's there. It's in there. And I
dropped $100, and I don't feel bad about it either. I got 2 things that I already had that I knew I liked, like 2 shirts. I got the jogging pants. I got the fancy jersey. I got like a bunch of buttons and stickers because they're like, what, $2?
Yeah.
I like keychains. I got one of those hats. I don't even wear hats, but I was like, I want that hat. I got that really nice hoodie with Tracer on it, like the gray two-tone one, because I've always wanted that. And it was like, what, $70, $80? Now it's like $20. And I'm like, yeah. But like the shirts are $6. Like you can't pass that up.
No, you
like
can't.
$100 and you get like an entire wardrobe of Dallas Fuel things. Yes, please.
Well, and it's like, you know, I'm new to I guess it's the greater Bay Area. Sacramento's a couple hours away from San Francisco, but I mean, for Overwatch League purposes, I mean, you know, that's the home team. So do I get stuff that says San Francisco on it because now I'm here?
Yeah,
sure. And maybe one of those, like those tech jackets is pretty cool. And it's like $30 now. And
the bomber jacket's really cool. I was really tempted to get that.
Yeah.
That was like $100 like all year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And now it's super affordable.
So
I got all Florida Mayhem stuff because they were super awesome last year, and I'm super stoked to support them again this year.
Yeah, but I just, you know, they need to update their colors, I think.
No.
Just a little bit. Just
Would you say that to McDonald's' face? I don't think so.
Not quite so Happy Meal. Maybe
I
little.
I mean, yeah, but I think it would be okay. Like, I hope this year. Have they announced like the jerseys this year if they're using the same style? Because I kind of hope they allow teams to branch out a little bit, maybe, so it's not the same thing, just different color schemes.
I don't know. I feel like they probably won't. Just because like there's like the Overwatch League jerseys, and then I think every team has their own store where they can use their own designs and use their own like distributors and stuff like that. So I think there's like a differentiator.
Not all of them do that though. So I mean, you got to be kind of careful with that because I don't think San Francisco does that, or at least not much. So
yeah.
There's not a lot of other stuff out there. So I'm hoping that they branch out a little bit, and maybe it would just be really cool to have like the bomb on the front of the Mayhem jersey with a little palm tree sticking out of it, as kind of like the only thing, and not say Florida Mayhem like it does right now. So that would be cool.
Whenever we win the championship next year, and it's like people will know who Florida Mayhem is, so you don't need to say it on the shirt.
Right.
Ooh.
Right.
And then we'll win the year after that, and then DJ Khaled will perform again.
Overwatch me.
One.
There you go. There you go. So yeah, I mean, there's other stuff on the store too. By the way, it's not just Overwatch League stuff, but the Overwatch League stuff is heavily discounted because the new season starts up in what, a month?
February 14th.
2 months.
Baby.
So there you go. They got to gear up for all that stuff, but they got to get rid of the old stock. So
yes, and then we have to spend all our money on the old stock and then save up for all of the new stock.
Right. Exactly. So save up by spending now. Does that make sense? No, not really. Also, there was something else that came. There was a survey that came out after BlizzCon that Blizz put out, and basically it was asking, what else would you spend money on for a BlizzCon ticket, like in addition to your BlizzCon ticket. They did this before when they were talking about trying to figure out whether or not esports should be a part of BlizzCon or if it just should be something separate. And they've done it again with this survey. Is there something, it's like behind the scenes tour or a private something or I don't know what. Is there something that you would pay money for on top of a BlizzCon ticket, guys?
I got a behind the scenes tour this year at BlizzCon. It was really, really cool, but for the most part, I felt like I was bothering people who were trying to work. And I don't think that I would have paid money to feel like that because I felt really bad.
Well, you have a heavy Canadian gene that is preventing you from bothering people.
I do. It's true.
Yeah. How about you, Gizmo?
Of the things that they put on here, really the only one that I think could potentially be cool is the behind the scenes tour or maybe like the Blizzard campus tour. I really hope they wouldn't go like a fast pass for demo stations or reserve seating, that type of stuff, because that is going to... it almost becomes mandatory at that point if you want to do that stuff at BlizzCon.
Well, that would be so frustrating too from a fan point of view.
Yeah.
If you were there, if you were at BlizzCon and then they had a fast pass option and you're like, wow,
I paid $200 to be here.
Right.
Plus all of the flight and stuff.
Right.
And
I get to play one demo now all weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because like I mean, if you can do fast pass things like in a right way, like maybe if they do it at like Disney does it to where you can grab something and then come back at like a certain time, but not immediately, that might work. Yeah. But like I went to, when I lived in Florida, the Universal Studios Fright Nights or whatever. Yeah. Then I got a fast pass for that, and I got through everything in like 2.5 hours, to where a line for one haunted house, if you didn't have fast pass, was over 3 hours.
Oof. Whoa.
And it's like, so that stuff can really mess everything up, especially for an event like this.
Yeah.
That would be bad.
That would throw everything out of whack.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, I don't think that would be the right way to go for BlizzCon. Let's let everybody struggle in the same damn line and make new friends along the way.
Yeah.
I think that would be good. Anything else? What?
I don't know. Private developer interaction sounds pretty saucy.
It's called the Hilton or Marriott.
Ooh, that's right. And usually you don't have to pay for that.
No.
Not with money, at least.
Usually. Right.
Sometimes you get paid to do that instead.
Sometimes. No.
Sometimes.
Mm-mm.
There's also private esports pro interaction, professional photo pass. What's that?
Well, I think the professional photo pass is something like
for the booths, like the 360 booth, and
right. Maybe
like I imagined being able to do that, and you get like those photos for free or something, like one of each of their photo station things. You actually have your own just private professional photographer following you around.
Oh, that'd be great.
BlizzCon.
That'd be great.
That's what I'm thinking.
Even while you sleep.
That would be awesome.
Just like you.
And then we could get more photos of you sleeping, Gizmo.
Yeah, exactly.
High quality, printed out, it's all glossy. Put it on
so
my mantle.
cuddly. It's amazing.
You are the most adorable sleeper. You rival puppies.
Well, I don't know.
It's not the first time I've heard that.
I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying puppies are pretty damn cute. That's all I'm saying. All right. Let's move on to World of Warcraft.
A clever strategy.
Thank you. Now, there were, from BlizzCon, we had some bonus Q&A stuff that was, from the original Q&A that was at BlizzCon. They had more questions that they could not answer in the time allotted, but they put those up online. And Thyst, Hi. There were... What was some of the things we can kind of skip around a little bit because it's been out for a little bit, but what are some of the things that, as a raider especially, you saw that were notable?
What, at BlizzCon in general?
No, I mean from this bonus Q&A thing. Oh,
from the bonus Q&A. Well, It was cool that they gave us an update on the mobile app. Just because, I'm not sitting here like being angry about it or anything, but like I know that it would, like, just be really cool to have when it's working optimally and it's got all the bells and whistles that they want it to have. Apparently it's actively being worked on right now, which is good to hear. They're going to include some social features like guild and community chat and the calendar, which would be really, really helpful actually. Because it's so hard to like, well, it's not hard, but it's just like sometimes people are like, hey, I'm not, an officer in the guild. Can you put something in the calendar for me? Because I'm trying to start something. And you're like, okay, I'll just log in and I'll go do that, So it'd be cool to be able to do that on your phone. But they're aiming for all of that functionality, and it's apparently going to be coming up in the coming months. So that's exciting.
Yeah, that's not too bad.
Pet battles. There's that new Nobergan pet dungeon coming, but they're apparently looking at pet PvP. They want to add more structure and elevate it from just like a niche sort of thing in the game.
I don't know how I feel about that. I don't know.
I know what you mean. It's like I liked the idea of pet battles because it didn't feel like I needed to do it, I was comfortable with it just always being there if I wanted it. But like if it becomes more prominent, then that's just like one other thing. Oh no, WoW's giving me more fun things to do.
No. Here's the way to really make it awful. Right? What you do is you have pet battles or pet battle dungeons or whatever, and then you would tie in like some kind of gear reward like Azerite armor. And
oh God.
No, your pets can get gear and armor.
Yes, exactly. You can get gear just by doing pet battles. Yeah. This is not a thing, by the way, guys. This is not a thing.
Yeah. No, absolutely.
Your Azerite pets.
Because then you're forced into pet battling because everyone can choose one of their companions to actually help them. Right. So everyone's like a hunter, and to reach the top of the DPS charts or get in an LFR group, it's going to be pet level 390,
pet level midnight,
or for normals.
Jeez.
Oh man.
Well, that's happening.
So that's a thing. No, it's not.
Confirmed.
Right. One of the biggest things was like Titan forging and war forging and all the forging things, where they said, "Hey, guess what, guys? This is not going anywhere."
Yeah, it's not going away. They think that Warforging, and this is from the website, preserves a sense of possibility, which I appreciate. It's cool just like rolling for something and hoping that you get a piece, and then when you get a piece, hoping that it's Warforged, of course. I think people's problem with it is that it sucks when somebody in LFR gets a really amazing piece and you get absolutely nothing.
Sure.
But they kind of speak to that, and they say like, if you're in a heroic or mythic raiding group, or you're doing high keys or whatever, like you're still going to get better gear than the LFR person who got lucky that one time,
Right. And that makes sense, because I mean that guy is basically has, LFR gear for the most part, except for like those lucky rolls every once in a while, and so
yeah.
Yeah, I mean it's
easy to feel really, really jealous and tilted in the moment, but
right. And the thing I don't think that people necessarily, well, some people obviously get kind of tilted about that particular thing, but then they also get tilted about needing to run a raid forever, trying to get their best in slots because they know that they can roll a Titan Forged or a Warforged piece and
yeah,
it feels bad, man, when you don't get that, especially when you're keep on running a raid.
But it also feels good, man, because then it's sort of, and they spoke to this as well, it gives tiers longevity. So even if everybody has, like, imagine everybody in your raiding group already has everything they need, but you still need more. And their only incentive at this point is to go back into the dungeon for Warforging.
Yes, but at the same time, I'm always like, I think that frustrates the player that doesn't have all of his BIS more than anything. So, but I don't know, Gizmo. I mean, do you have any thoughts on that in particular?
I have liked it. It hasn't affected me much since I stopped raiding hardcore. Like
sure.
at this point, it's more just a bonus when I get it, but I'm not really in that grind to have to get my best in slot or anything like that. So as it's become more prominent, because now it can, you can get something Warforged up to like heroic level, right? Even from LFR, to where that wasn't the case whenever it was something that was prominent for me. So I can see how it's frustrating. But I can also see like how it's a fun thing, because it does feel good whenever you get one of those pieces. So
totally.
And it just,
as soon as one of those things drops, like you're just like, hey everybody, get bent. Look what I just got. I'm on top of the world right now. This is like literally why I'm rating right now.
Right.
This is the best piece ever.
And, with the highs come the lows,
right.
Or you can just have mediums all the time.
Yeah. Do you want that? Just mediums?
Just mediums?
World of Warcraft is not medium.
Yeah.
It's really, really high.
Okay. All right. That sounds good. And by the way, I'm only talking, I mean, for the most part, I think when you're talking about things like I was talking about, where you're really only trying for like a extra 5-10 eye levels or whatever on a certain piece of gear, that is for those guys that are at a fairly high level and just keep on running stuff. For casual folks like myself, it's no big deal. But I'm just, trying to at least give those guys a little bit of voice, because I know that they have big concerns when it comes to stuff like that. So
of course.
So there.
It's just like in any complicated system in World of Warcraft, which is a complicated system in itself.
Right.
Nothing is perfect, and nothing ever will be perfect. Nobody's ever going to be happy across the board. And it does suck for people who like try really hard and play a really high level. But like Ian's always saying, like that's a really small percentage of the player base. And like, while everybody in the player base totally matters, it's still just like really hard to at least maintain some sense of mediumness across the board, which is what I think WoW does a good job of. But this in particular, like, this was a huge change implemented, and they're still working on it. And people are freaking out because, like, I think the WoW team is firm in saying that, like, this isn't going to go away. I'm sure, like, I don't know. I think it's okay right now. I think it's an okay system. I'm not hurting about it or anything like that. But again, like, I'm not a super high level raider or anything like that either. So
what if they did something to where you always, still have the chance of it warforging or Titan forging, but if you get that same piece again to drop, then it's at least guaranteed to be bumped up to the next level, but still have the potential to go up the next level or whatever levels.
See, now that would be good, because that would be awesome.
At least one more.
Because I know that they've had some serious issues with people getting the same gear over and over again on certain boss fights. Like I've gotten the gloves so many times on, I can't remember the boss now, but I've gotten the gloves so many damn times on that one boss, and it was always the same eye level.
Mm-hmm.
Ugh, what a pain.
Add another vendor to the game, to where if you can go turn in the same piece, and if you're already wearing it, then boom, it gets bumped up 5 eye levels or something.
That'd be awesome.
I could live with that.
It becomes vendor forged.
Vendor forged. Oh, vendor forged. Look at that, vendor forged.
And then you get a mount with a vendor forge on it. Mm-hmm. The mount's like some kind of ghost with a backpack.
All right. That sounds good. I like it. I like where we're going with this. Now we need to talk about the reforging thing, right? Because for Azerite gear, they were Thyst, they were looking at doing some improvements with that, right?
Yes.
What are they doing?
So in Tides of Vengeance, they'll be doubling the rate at which the respec cost decays. So it will go down by 50% every 24 hours. And additionally, they'll give us a one-time reset of all the respec costs when the update goes live. So before that, the respec cost was starting at 5 gold and increased and decayed rapidly. So periodic respecs would be free, but swapping routinely would be unsustainable. So they're not giving up this system, but they're making it a little bit more fair for everybody.
That's nice.
Which is good.
That's nice, but they're not taking it away. So people that are really trying to use this system to its fullest extent are going to go broke. That's the way it goes. Sorry. I don't
Why
know.
are you apologizing? You're neither on the WoW team nor Canadian.
That's them apologizing.
Oh.
Actually, but they're not even apologizing. It's sorry, not sorry. This is a thing. Just deal with
Yeah.
it. And maybe you shouldn't spend all your money on reforging for that 0.5% gain on something, whatever it is.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, this is just a really good example of the Warcraft team saying, okay, we thought this was good. It's not. So we're changing it. But I appreciate that they're not like, rolling over on this, because I really personally, I hate when the WoW team just rolls over because the community gets all butthurt about something.
Sure.
But that's just me.
Right. My favorite question of the extended Q&A stuff from BlizzCon, however, is the last question that was asked. And the question was, how do you plan to accommodate new players who are overwhelmed by the size of the content? Which I think is a great question. Because now we're at 120 levels. It's a long haul for a lot of people. And we've kind of seen professions have taken a turn because the slog is so long. You don't have to go through all of the different levels. Now they've split it up for the expansion so that you can actually just level up for the expansion. But I mean, how do they do that with content? And this is where my Paragon levels idea really should come to fruition.
There's that idea again.
I want Paragon levels. You go up
Pat's
you
having
level up to
ideas.
60, you level up to 60, and then you go into expansion and you have Paragon levels. And then this way, I even thought about it even a little bit more since this question came out. And so I've had some time with it. Tell me what you think. So for every expansion, that's where you get all of your cool new spells, right? So you get your cool new spells for the expansion, or the updated spells for your spec, whatever the case may be. And so that's where you get your cool spells each and every expansion. And then that way, if you go back to, if you go over to Wrath of the Lich King, you get all of your Wrath of the Lich King cool stuff, right? So you get all your little spells and stuff, and you can all run that at level for Wrath, and you come back, blah, blah, blah. And then you can kind of jump in and jump out of all these different fun raids at level, which could be kind of cool. And all those guys that it's solo raids are like, well, you could suck it. I want a solo raids. That's all I want to do. But I don't know. I think Paragon levels would be fun.
I could possibly get down with that.
Yeah, maybe.
And then
Maybe.
they wouldn't have to worry about like WoW Classic BC version, or a WoW Classic Wrath version, or something like that. It would just
Right.
be there. And then it would just be the game.
The only thing
that
I
would be
can
cool.
see with that is...
Oh, it's a lot of work. They're never going to do it.
Well, that, and then like, if everything post vanilla is the same level, how do you
How does that work? Yeah.
how do you try and get people to do the new thing that you've done, the new expansion, whenever, if they're just now playing WoW, there's 5 other things they can do at the same level,
Right.
Yeah.
or however many expansions there
Yeah.
are.
Yeah. Maybe.
But-
Well, I don't know exactly what that means, but
Pat, you're supposed to have all the answers.
Yeah, Pat.
I was just
I thought
trying to
this was your
have. I was
show.
just trying to. I've been running a lot of. I've been soloing a lot of raids lately. I've been trying to get some transmog for my tunes, and I was going through ICC. I'm like going, wouldn't this be cool at level? By the way, I died twice because of shadow traps. That's all I'm saying. Damn shadow
You shouldn't
traps.
say that in public.
Those shadow traps got me, and I was like, the first time I went, oh right, shadow trap, and the second time I went, oh crap, shadow trap.
Aw, but you tried, didn't you?
I did, and then on the
Good for
third time
you.
I killed him. I killed him good. So there. But I think I just think it would be fun to do all that stuff kind of as you wish and at level. And I think that for the most part, people would be playing the new stuff, but it would give that old stuff, that old content that we love. It would give it new life and like an extended, longer life, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
I just don't know how it works with gear and stuff. So I think that there's something there for people. So I don't know. Whatever.
Overall, I would have to say, even though WoW is getting more and more stuff to do and it's becoming more daunting for new players that are trying to get into the game, they still do a much better job than a majority of games out there.
Yes.
Like I started playing Warframe on Switch, and I've played it on PC too, but that game is like, after you finish the opening story, which is like an hour, it's just like, okay, here you are. And there is like no explanation on anything. Like you have to do research on websites to even figure out what to do. So
Oh my God.
it's really daunting. And Path of Exile too. Let me tell you what, if you want to play games that make you feel like, okay, now I'm too old for game, like these youngins understanding all this micro and who-dads and whatnots, play those games. Because it's like, I got to research for a week and study for the final before I can even roll a character in this game. Otherwise, I just don't know what gosh darn tarnation I'm doing.
But Gizmo, didn't you like buy a Nintendo Power magazine back in the day to try to like figure out how to get through Zelda? Like we've always been doing that.
I'm too old for that stuff now. I just want to play.
Too old for that stuff. I just don't want to do the research on Thoughtbot and Alakazam.
Alakazam. Oh man,
all that
what
kind
a
of good stuff.
lifesaver.
Yeah, exactly.
And can I just say that like when you do get to max level, after all that, after everything that you've been through, you're happy usually that there is so much stuff and has been so much stuff and is so like just like, even if you level up at, like start at 1 and you go through to the game and you can go through to the end and you're at end game and you're right in the thick of all that, like there's no way you've visited every place, there's no way you've done every quest, there's no way you've tried everything, and like that's part of WoW, isn't it? Like just knowing that there's just so much out there that's just like, it's World of Warcraft, not like Game of Warcraft, you know?
Right. Well, and speaking of which, I know that we've got a bunch of stuff on our docket tonight as far as WoW stuff goes, and really it does come down to WoW is really huge in so many different ways. Like right now, it is the 14th anniversary of World of Warcraft, so congratulations! That's very awesome. And if you guys don't know, you have until I think it's the 30th. You have to use all this stuff or to check your mailbox. But check your mail for the special anniversary gift package. There's a bunch of Time War badges or bandages, and then plus you can get increased rep and XP gains by 14% for an hour, which is awesome. Plus there's a World Quest event this week, I think, and so that means that you can get extra rep that way as well. So if you did that plus your little token thing for an hour, you could get some serious rep.
I mean, is 14% for an hour really that much?
Well, it's better than last year's, which was 13%.
Yeah.
So it is better. It gets better every year.
Technically, yes. The math is sound with Pat.
Soon, like in, say, 85 years, it will be incredible.
Whoa.
Right?
I can't wait.
I know. We'll be playing from the old folks' home going, I think I set loot to personal.
Okay. Well, and it's so confirmed in chat, and I do remember this from last year. It is reusable. It's just a buff.
Gotcha.
So it's at least 14% for multiple hours.
There you go.
I'll take it. Better than none.
Yeah. Yeah, and there are a couple of additional quests and all this other kind of stuff. So that part is pretty fun. Also, I wanted to. There was another thing there was another post by it was on MMO Champion, and it was talking about how huge the chronology of the literature is of World of Warcraft, and it is ginormous,
sizable,
girthy. Even yes, all of that stuff.
Quite large.
And if you go to MMO Champion, if you've been there recently, you've probably seen this where it says Warcraft literature, and it says, okay, here we go. We're going to go all the way through, orcs and humans all the way through to now, basically, and tell you all of the different books and comics and short stories and all this kind of. And I'm looking at this stuff and I'm like going, oh my God, I need to read this stuff. But I haven't. I've read some of the books, but I haven't read like a lot, like 98% of them. There are seriously like, I don't know, 100 stories and books and comics and stuff.
Yeah, there's a lot. I think I've read 3 of the books, and then I think I have like the first 20 volumes of the comic.
Right.
That I went through, and the comics are really good.
They are. If
Good.
only Blizz would stop making such enjoyable video games so we could read once in a while.
Right. Well, and, and somebody was saying, I can't remember who it was. Maybe it was one of you guys, saying that if Blizzard stopped making World of Warcraft stopped making games and just did the universe stuff, and this could go for Overwatch, this could go for World of Warcraft, this could go for whatever. And if they just concentrate on the narrative side of things, that would also be okay. Like they would just go, the games are fun, but really the story is so deep that you could do this forever, and I'd be fine with it. Maybe not the happiest I've ever been, but I would be fine with it.
I'd miss data immersion though.
Data immersion. Yep. It's all about data immersion.
Well, in the future, maybe we'll have like hologram movies in television, so then you can still sit in the middle of it and then have to turn around to watch a movie, which would be super annoying. So I hope they never do that.
Yeah, I don't want to turn around to watch a movie.
You got to watch it 10 times so you can watch it from all the angles.
Oh, kind of like the Overwatch World Cup stuff.
Yeah.
Where you can go through the player and look at it all the different angles.
I love that. It's so cool, especially watching the coaches like talk about what happened after like it happens.
Right. Yeah,
Very
that was really cool. I'm looking forward to seeing that more in Overwatch League this year. That'd be great. All right, let's talk. Let's continue talking about World of Warcraft, and let's talk about 8.1 because 8.1 is coming up in 2 weeks. 2 weeks.
That's so soon.
Just 2 weeks away. And there were a couple of different things that we know about. Okay, so first of all, Island Expeditions are getting we're getting a couple of new ones for 8.1, and also the Dark Shore Warfront. There is a preview right now on worldofwarcraft.com that you can check out and kind of figure out what's going on. Thyst.
Yes.
Island Expeditions for 8.1. They're adding some new things, like they're adding like an Azerite miner type of thing. This little doohickey,
Yes.
right?
The Extractors.
The Extractor.
We are going to be extracting Azerite from islands.
Yes.
So you sort of like come across a place on the island where you might be able to extract Azerite. So you deploy the Extractor.
The Extractor.
And you will extract.
You will extractorate.
Extractivate all of the Azerite from the ground or the trees or I don't know. But once you deploy your Extractor. And it is extractonating.
Extractornating.
It's going to alert NPCs and the enemy team, or, sometimes they're one and the same, where that is. And your Extractor is very easily overtaken. So you can let it run and you'll get the Azerite that it is extracting for you.
Extractornating.
You're going to have to keep an eye on it if you care about it. Like if it's clutch, like if you really need that, you might want to think about guarding it. Like obviously I don't know how this is going to go yet, but like I think this adds like a really interesting element to Island Expeditions. It's giving you a spot where you need to like maybe come back to or decide to defend, or a spot to go to potentially, kill people and take and extract their Extractor for yourself.
Yes. Yeah.
Yes, I'm especially good at extractonating.
Yep. Right.
Disney joke. And then we've got Azerite Ruptures.
Rupturnating.
Rupturnating.
Yes.
The thatched roof cottages.
Yes.
The references are just coming right out.
Trogdor. Yeah.
So you deploy a machine to collect it, and that will summon waves of Azurite themed creatures. So these creatures, and eventually like an elite will come as well, are more rich in Azurite nutrients, which is what you need to win an island expedition. So when you put that down, you're going to draw NPCs to you that are good to kill and will probably give you more Azurite because of the nutrients, like I mentioned.
Mm-hmm.
But also, when you deploy it, the enemy team will know where you are.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to worry about that too.
Yes. So as soon as you do that, you set off this beacon for the entire island, saying, "Hey, here's the thing that's happening."
Not unlike when they opened the book with the eye in Hocus Pocus, and he shot like a beam into the sky. Remember that, Pat? Hocus Pocus?
No, I don't remember that.
I do.
Yeah, you do, Giz.
All of the references.
Yeah, let's just cram them in here.
Yeah, might as well.
Why not?
Might as
It's
well.
a free for all at this point.
That's right. And then we also have Warfronts, which is going to be the new Darkshore one. There are some, I think it's more subtle differences and more kind of like other things that you need to do. Like instead of breaking down gates, you're going to be destroying cannons offshore. So you get to do that. It's a little bit longer.
You know what my favorite part about the new thing is?
What is? Oh God! Wait, hold on a sec. I don't want to know. I don't want to know. I don't want to know.
Please.
All right. What is it?
You can instead of just
I don't know.
Instead of just harvesting wood from trees, you can kill people and grab their wood. But only ancients and catapult / glaive throwers have suitable wood for you to grab once they are deceased.
Right.
Only when they're dead.
Right.
Yeah. Only when they're dead.
Makes sense. so that is kind of nice, and it's also kind of cool because if you do kill an ancient, you would expect that you have felled a tree. Felled? A tree has fallen.
Sure.
Has been felled. So therefore you should be able to grab its wood.
So do you have to be playing Forsaken to do this? Because I feel like you're probably breaking laws if you're not Forsaken and you're grabbing deadwood.
Hate when that happens.
Yeah.
Grab deadwood and then you go to jail.
Might not be breaking laws, but it's probably frowned upon.
Probably.
I'm just going to stay out of it.
This is your show, Pat.
I'm just going to stay out of it. It's all good. It's all good.
No show is safe.
No, not from Deadwood. Anyway, so now these two things are these gonna, and Thyst, I'll ask you, are these things going to interest you more than they have in 8.0, or are you gonna play them more? Or are you planning on seeing what happens and just go, it's fun?
I've really been enjoying Warfronts and Island Expeditions. I know that that's not how everybody feels about those things. I never had a problem with either of them. I like doing Island Expeditions repeatedly. It's content that I think is enjoyable. I understand why people haven't liked it in the past. I think that the improvements they made on Island Expeditions the last time, just like adding more content and stuff like that, just gave me even more incentive to do something that I already wanted to do, but now more people I know wanted to come with me, so like that was cool too. I think we're getting 2 new islands as well, so it'll be cool to see new islands. There's a couple of other updates that they were talking about at BlizzCon that I can't remember, but something about like the trash packs being like more linear, like in a dungeon or something like that, so it'll be easier to like get through the content, because I think the placement of the packs will just make a little bit more sense to people who play WoW.
Sure.
But
you and I should play sometime, because on my Horde tune, my artifact level is like 3. So
sure.
I need to get my Azurite on, or whatever the kids are saying. I don't even know what. Yeah, get it on.
Yeah.
You need to extractonate.
I need to extractonate some deadwood.
Yeah.
Or something. I'm not sure exactly
You
how
gotta
that works.
stop doing that.
What race is your horde tune?
Troll.
Oh, okay.
Troll druid. So
You would be a troll. You're like
it's kind of perfect for me.
You invented trolling online.
Not gonna. I think I may have. I'm that old. Something like that.
That's not what I was implying, but that's still really funny.
So the other thing that we wanted to talk about with WoW, and I do kind of want to talk about this really quick because I know we've got even more stuff to talk about. But there was a Kotaku article talking about Warcraft Go and things about Diablo and kind of a range of items, including Activision and whatever. But this came out last week. Was it last week? I think it was before.
Yeah, the 21st.
So it came out on the 21st, and it was talking about and one of the big things is Warcraft Go. I just kind of want to touch base on that one. Thyst, what were they talking about with Warcraft Go as a possibility, right?
If you choose to read this, take everything with a grain of salt.
Sure. Well, and we should note that Kotaku has put forward some articles that have been not necessarily retracted entirely, but they've been corrected over a period of time. Blizzard has not weighed in on any of this stuff, so all of this is not like official Blizzard stuff. It's somebody. It's a reporter apparently talking to people off the record, or not, or at least anonymously. So, which,
like, to me is sketchy, just because, like, I know a lot of people who work at Blizzard, and that is the last thing that they would do.
Sure,
the last thing,
right? Because they want to keep it a surprise for everybody. They want to keep it fun for everybody. So they want to wait until it's done.
The secrecy around everything at Blizzard is so important to everybody who works there, and I have a hard time believing that this reporter found even more than one person who works at Blizzard who would say all of this stuff.
Sure,
because like a lot of that stuff is pretty big. But what the article said was that they were just talking about the whole Diablo being mobile and stuff, and how that might translate to other Blizzard games, and how Battle Pets just kind of seems like a natural transition to mobile, and how a lot of people who work at Blizzard really like playing Pokemon Go, and so
I think that would be fun.
Knowing that, oh, totally, it would be fun.
I think that would.
100% get me into Battle Pets.
Yeah. 100%. I think if it was so get this. I think that if it was Pokemon Go meets pet battles in WoW, something like that, I'd be all over it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I'd be totally cool with that. So.
Oh, and wouldn't it be amazing? Because like when Pokemon Go first came out, I met so many Pokemon fans just by going out into the world for the first time. But like, it would be amazing to go into the world and meet up with other World of Warcraft fans. Just because we're in this community, it would mean so much. And
that'd be really cool.
Totally.
I hadn't even thought about that, because the Pokemon Go, I mean, that's not a new game anymore, but when they still do the community days, I'll go out to them when I can, and there will be 100+ people.
People are still playing the game. I mean, it's crazy.
Yeah, so if they're able to tie that into WoW, and like if they did these community type days, that would just be really cool to see and meet people who play World of Warcraft.
Yeah, in your area, and then you go, oh my god, I made a new friend, and now he's on my raid team, and now we're best friends, and we go out to the movies all the time.
Hang out IRL, but we don't because it's awkward.
Right, but you meet up in IRL because of Warcraft Go. Wouldn't that be?
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be fun? And then there was a bunch of stuff about Diablo. I don't necessarily want to get into all of that stuff either, because it seems very speculative, and it seems kind of weird.
Yeah,
the whole thing's weird.
Yeah, and then but there was something kind of interesting about the article where it was talking about Activision and Blizzard, and this is something that Gizmo, I know you and I had talked about before. Thyst, I think we may have briefly talked about it at BlizzCon, and that was with Mike Morhaime leaving, who was the CEO of Blizzard, and in the article he was named an anti-CEO, right?
I like that.
Yeah.
Because he only cares about his employees and the integrity of the stuff that Blizz is putting out and the community and how happy they are.
Making good games, and it's all about the games and about people's experience with it and blah, blah, blah. But now with him gone and Jab as J. Allen Brack as the president, not the CEO of Blizzard, this article seems to say that Activision is trying to kind of, I don't know, not necessarily take over Blizzard or anything like that, but maybe try to steer them a little bit.
Yeah. None of this is, again, founded on anything.
Sure. Right.
I personally don't think that El Presidente would allow Activision to infiltrate Blizzard. Not in the way that the article makes it out to seem, and I don't think that Activision is like evil or wants to change Blizzard or
no.
I think it's the only thing that's super obvious to me is that Blizzard is going through a lot of monumental changes, and a lot of them are internal, so it's hard for us to decipher from the outside. And all we can do is really just hope that everything, starts to fall into place soon next year, and that, I don't know, whatever Blizzard is working towards with Activision, they can come to some sort of mutual beneficial compromise or something. I'm not sure.
Sure.
But
well, and it doesn't sound so. I mean, just to kind of stretch it out a little bit more, it doesn't sound like Activision is trying to be in any kind of creative control over Blizzard. I think it just comes down to money. Right?
Yeah.
I mean, that kind of is what it seems like anyway.
Yeah. It's just, oh, sorry, go ahead.
And it's something kind of I've felt like I've started seeing, just because it seems like over the past year, Blizzard has been making some decisions that didn't really seem like Blizzard in the past. And it's not necessarily bad decisions. It just, it feels like they're starting to become more like other gaming companies, which again isn't bad. There's lots of so many great games that aren't Blizzard games, but it seems like Blizzard's kind of going from, or Blizzard previously has been, behind Mike and stuff. Let's just make really good games, and then if we do a good job, we will make money off of those games, and we'll have failures and stuff as well. But now it's kind of turning to, like you said, more potentially about the money. And that would be my feeling of Activision kind of starting to influence what decisions they're making.
Right.
And it makes sense. Like, I don't think J. Allen Brack would necessarily want to let that happen, but that's got to be really hard for him, stepping in as the president of a company who's owned by another company, if they've been kind of like, it's kind of like a crack in the dam. If this is what Activision's been wanting to do, there's a lot of pressure there.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, absolutely. I mean, it's all about stockholders and about trying to make sure that they're building the right way and all that kind of stuff. And I'm guessing that is in part why we're seeing mobile games being developed and all that kind of, not only does it make sense, but it also maybe makes more financial sense as well.
Yeah.
They're trying to utilize, their assets with King, Candy Crush folks they bought those guys up a couple years ago. So might as well use them a little bit and see what they know.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah. Yeah. Do all that stuff. I don't know.
I think bottom line, we've just been really, really lucky with Blizzard because
Right.
It's more than a company, like it, instead of developers, it has, celebrities, and instead of a company, it's more like, this amazing fantasy world in Irvine, and you go through the gates and it's like the most beautiful place, and everybody's happy and there's dogs everywhere. And like, I don't think that Blizzard's going to change that. I don't think Blizzard is ever going to be not that. It's just that,
sure.
It can't be, all sunshine and rainbows forever. And
but it can be puppies forever, because they do allow dogs on campus. So
they do.
So
of course,
puppies are always welcome.
In the wake of just how well Overwatch did and how much money that brought in so quickly, like it set a huge precedent. And I think Activision's like, hey, do that again. How about, sure. Just bring in a ton of money real quick, and we're going to figure out how to do that by doing all of this other stuff that we've never done before. And Blizz is like, okay,
Right.
Right. But no, I'm not worried that much, because like, I know things are going to change. I knew that it couldn't have been Fantasyland forever, but I firmly believe that Blizzard will always be just like the best company and the most worthy company to put your faith in and to back and to celebrate and to promote. So saying that as a Blizzard podcaster.
Of course. And we're fans of Blizzard. We've been fans of Blizzard for a long time. I don't think that that's going to change anytime soon. Who knows what's going on with the latest games in development, but apparently they have more games in development right now than they ever have before, so that's awesome. And several. I just look forward to seeing what's next with these guys. Speaking of what's next, just real quick.
Well met.
Yeah, Hearthstone. We've got Rastakan's Rumble coming up next week. They've been releasing cards like crazy. Let's see what else I will do.
Oh, rubbish.
Let's do a little bit of Overwatch. Ashe is out since our last podcast. I mean, officially, and still kind of hate her.
Oh, I've been getting headshots so often lately.
She's fun to play. It just sucks to play against. So
yeah.
So
but is Widowmaker no longer a thing?
What's that?
Oh,
Did she take the place of Widowmaker?
No. Surprisingly, no. I think she's less powerful from a distance.
Okay.
So I don't know exactly how it works.
The thing is, like, she's like a closer range kind of. I would call her a sniper, but I wouldn't at the same time. But like, because she's new, it's encouraging more people to like pick her up and pick up trying to pick me off in the head. And I think the best strategy, as somebody who almost exclusively plays Diva and Moira, the best strategy to deal with Bob is to go away and wait till he's gone,
right,
and then come back and try to fix things.
Right.
I've only ever killed him once, and it was on Bastion, and I was behind a lot and
Sure. Well, and
I'm not proud of that kill.
And Bob is just kind of stupid. He doesn't run around all over the place. He goes to a spot and stays there, essentially.
Yeah.
He runs into a wall and then he's like, I'll just stay here and try to shoot everything. So it's pretty easy to avoid, which is kind of nice. I don't know. But
yeah, he's more of a disruptor and a distractor than a killer, but don't try to kill him, because then you will die.
Sure. Yeah, unless you have
he's a hard boss.
Unless you're like Junkrat and can fire and kind of angle some bombs his way or whatever. So yeah, that's where it goes.
Bob bombs.
Oh.
Bob bombs. Let's see what else. I wanted to talk about the Overwatch League, the new teams. I almost did that when we were talking about the team jerseys on sale.
So did I.
But we have 6 teams coming in, right? Or is it 8?
It's 8. We've got 8.
8 total.
Ooh.
But we have jerseys from 4. Right?
Yes.
Okay.
So 6 of the 8 teams have been officially announced, but they were all leaked except for Vancouver, and all of the leaks were accurate.
Nice.
So we've got the Atlanta Reign, the Toronto Defiant, the Hangzhou Spark, Washington Justice hasn't been announced yet, Paris Eternal, Guangzhou Charge, and the Chengdu Hunters.
Right.
So it's 3 Chinese teams, 2 Canadian teams, 1 team from Paris, and 2 American teams.
Right. And so we've seen some of their logos and some of their jerseys and some of their colors, especially the ones from China and also Paris. So
yes,
they look cool. They look fun. The Hanzu Spark, they're the ones that are purple and blue, right?
They're pink.
Pink. Well,
Wait, aren't they
pinky purple.
Pink.
They're
and
like my
sky
studio
blue.
walls. Oh, they're like my studio walls.
Let's talk about color palettes in the
Pink
Florida
and sky
Mayhem.
blue.
And
They ain't got
sky
nothing
blue.
on the Spark.
Yeah.
It's very bright.
If you check out the Hangzhou Spark, I'm trying to learn how to say these properly. Their colors are baby pink and sky blue, and
Diva.
Yeah.
exactly.
It's very
And
diva.
just like their logo is like a finger bang, and it's but like if you go to their Twitter and just any of their social media, it's so cute. Like all of the branding is absolutely adorable, and I think it's great because like all of the other teams have tried their best to look like cool, and like sporty or tough or whatever. But then the Spark comes along and it's just like completely kawaii, and everybody's freaking out about it, and everybody's going to buy a jersey, and people who don't really know about Overwatch League are going to be like, I'm cheering for the pink team. And like all of the emotes are going to be bought up on Twitch, and all of the skins in game, people are going to want their pink Reapers, their pink Doomfists, their pink divas.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, like it's there's going to be so much pink everywhere, and it's going to be fantastic.
Yeah, it's a thing. And you know how it's just the hand with a finger with the spark on it. It's just they came up with the idea as somebody was walking across carpet and socks in the middle of winter, touched something, and went, "Oh, I know what the team's going to be called now." All right.
They're
awesome.
originally going to be called the Hangzhou Railguns, and their logo was like an anime, the silhouette of an anime girl. Looks really cool.
Really?
Yeah, but that's none of that beats the Paris Eternals rooster logo, and I think that is very brave of an esport team to use a rooster as a logo.
Well, and that's just very French, right?
Of course, like it totally means something in France, but it also means something in esports too, and I'm pretty sure that there's going to be no jokes made about that at all.
Right. Nope. No
I'm not
jokes.
going to make any.
We're not going to make any.
One.
We're not going to make any here.
No.
Nope. We're
I don't know what you guys are talking about.
We're gonna let everybody else just kind of try to fill in the silence with their own little joke. You can do it, guys. Go ahead.
What's their colors? Out of curiosity.
Red, white, and blue. So just like the flag.
Red, white, and navy.
Well, yeah.
They stole it. Like our Washington team, they stole red, white, and blue before our Washington team got red, white, and blue.
Well, I'm sure there's different ways that you can present red, white, and blue. So
we don't know what the Washington team looks like yet, but we're pretty sure their logo is like a cool Captain America type shield.
The Excelsior is also red, white, and blue.
Yes.
Just saying.
Yeah.
So
Excelsior?
Yeah. They're navy. They're navy and white with a red stripe.
accent.
So yeah,
it's true.
So they've got
and
it.
Like Dallas Fuel is, there's always a little bit of red with the Jack in the Box logo.
Yeah, but that's
it's
paid.
fine.
That's paid advertising.
Whatevs. They get free Jack in the Box for life.
Really?
That's helpful. Yeah.
Man, Jack in the Box should do that for everybody that has a jersey.
Taco.
That'd be great.
Still. But yeah, so the only team we don't know anything about yet is Vancouver.
Yeah.
They managed to keep their logo, their colors, and their name a secret so far.
It's going to be the Vancouver Grizzlies. They will have a picture of a fish in a river, and
maybe,
and their colors are going to be green and brown.
You could be totally right.
I mean, that's I feel like there's a Grizzlies.
Yeah,
that's green and brown.
Yeah, that would work.
Makes sense.
That would work.
Yeah. There's Grizzlies
maybe
there.
Some yellow there.
maybe some blue.
Maybe a little bit.
White
Happy trees.
Red.
Maybe a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Happy trees. That'd be great. One other thing that happened this week that I was actually requested to bring up on the show, and I did not disagree when this person brought it up and said, "Hey, are you guys going to talk about this?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I think we might." So Seagull, not the bird, the ex pro player that is now doing content.
Dallas Fuel.
Did you almost say ex-pro pelican?
Ex-pro...
Seagull, the ex-pro pelican. It's now a seagull.
No. But now he's doing YouTube stuff and playing he's
retired.
Playing a different game. Yeah, he is now retired. However, he's still playing because he's not like 65 or anything like that. No. He's still a young guy. But he put forth this video. He put this video talking about the state of Overwatch. And his whole thing was that solo queue sucks eggs. That was it. That was really it. His whole thing, he had this hour-long deal or whatever, and it was about how solo queue, either it's really awesome or it's really bad, and yeah. And that's the deal with solo queue.
He was saying
I'm like, yeah, no, it is bad.
Like he's not wrong.
Yeah.
And the way that, I mean, there have been even recently some videos in which, content creators and pro players have been, sort of maligning the state of games. So I was a little hesitant to watch this video, but this was actually really, really well thought out. And he made some really great points. Like he was saying that like Overwatch needs to normalize this a little bit because you're either going to have like a lot of fun or you're going to have no fun. And so he was, sort of like saying things like there's too many hard counters. There's hard counters that mean you absolutely have to switch. So you can't necessarily just play what you want or what's fun. Like if the enemy team brings out one hero, then you absolutely have to change. But who's going to do that? If not you, nobody probably.
Right.
So,
and then the other thing being that you have to, you're almost like shunned into doing a standard comp instead of branching out. Like if you're a really good Tracer player right now, you're not gonna play Tracer all that much. You're gonna be playing with the rest of the team. You're gonna be playing whatever comp is you're doing. Either it's 3 tanks, 3 healers, or it's whatever. So
exactly.
So you're kind of tied to what people think is normal. Mm-hmm. And you can't really think outside the box. However, I would say that this is solo queue, and I think that the only thing to do is to have a team queue, right? I mean, if you are a part of a team, this is not a problem at all. And we have this for heroes, right? Where you can do either a full team or a solo queue or double queue or something like that, right?
Yeah, so they switched it to where it's well, there's still Hero League right now, but you can also queue solo in Team League. Mm-hmm. So Team League can be made up of parties of 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5.
Okay. All right. So I'm just trying to figure out if they've learned anything from that they could throw over to the Overwatch team and just say, hey, we hear that solo queue is kind of miserable right now, or it's not, or it's either really good or really bad. Either way. And let's try to create some sort of team thing. This is coming from a guy, by the way, who has played these heavy team comps where he could play whatever he wants because he's in total contact with his team and they understand and trust him. Mm. So I just think that he's having a rough transition into it.
Yeah, and I think
there are some problems.
I think this is like the big problems are just, I almost think it's unsolvable for competitive games that are team-based for a solo queue. Because people want solo queue to be able to go in by themselves, kind of, be able to carry their own weight and not really rely on the rest of the team, I guess. But
it's a team game. Yeah, what are they doing?
Team game. Right. And if you're wanting to push a competitive thing, then, it's going to be expected of you to, do compositions in order to do that, and, study outside of the game to be able to help improve your rank, whether that's watching YouTube videos or Overwatch League or whatever. So like, I get the frustration behind it, but when it comes to queuing solo in a team-based game that's competitive, I just think it's kind of something that's not, there's things you can do to make it suck less, but it's always going to be, oh, this game was really fun, or, oh, I have this person on my team who's, not wanting to do what they do. And that's just because it's solo.
It's really a jack in the box.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I gotcha. I have the perfect solution for those that are playing solo queue, that want to play whatever they want to play and not have their teammates tell them too much about what they should play. Go into quick match. Go do quick play and play arcade mode, and you will have so much fun. Because there you can play, as long as there's like one tank and one healer, you're pretty much good to go. So
sometimes. But yeah, the video as a whole is good. It ends with Seagull sort of reassuring everybody that he loves the game and that he's absolutely sure that Blizzard can figure this out.
Yeah.
He's also saying something about how alts are too powerful, but if this is interesting to you, I also recommend checking out Jane's VODs. It's Jayne. He's the sub coach for Dallas Fuel, and he also does like a really great stream, and it's always really, really informative about Overwatch. And I think last week he was streaming and somebody told him about Seagull's video, and so he went and he watched it live on stream and reacted to it, and then he got Seagull on the stream, and then they talked it out, and then before you know it, he's got Seagull and Surefour and XQC all talking about this. And then all of a sudden he's not even there anymore. He's just letting the stream go, and these 3 pro players are talking about the state of Overwatch. And like, it was really good, really, really good.
Yeah,
it was very insightful, and I really recommend that. It was totally cool.
Yeah, pretty cool. So make sure to go watch those videos if you really want to know more about what was said. It was interesting, and it was Seagull was very well spoken. So
he knows what he's talking about.
Yeah.
And he's not complaining and whining and predicting doomsday or anything like that. So
no, but saying that solo queue sucks is really not a big leap. But then again, he came up with some positive thoughts on it as well. So it was balanced. I want to also talk about, before we go, I want to definitely talk about Heroes of the Storm. Wait.
Turned up to 11.
There we go. And this is probably going to, sorry, but this is probably going to also lead into esports talk. So yeah, it'll be fun. Gizmo, now that you're here, we can talk about heroes, about HOTS. So what's been the haps since BlizzCon? Do we have the new hero in, and how is she, and is she cute?
Oh my gosh, Orphea is sorry, I said that wrong. People have been getting on to me about that. It's not Orphea, it's Orphea.
Yeah, it's Orphea.
Orphea.
Right.
She is incredible.
It's either Orphea.
Orphea.
No,
Orphea.
It's just Orphea.
Yeah. You gotta put the right pronunciation on.
It's either Orphea or Fia.
Orphea.
Yeah. Go ahead.
But she's incredible. She's super, super fun. I think I haven't checked her this week, but last week I think she was sitting at like a 45% win rate, which is interesting. She has a couple really strong builds right now, but I think she's going to be one of those characters who is pretty counterable and not as successful at the higher leagues, which is fine, which is why I think her win rate's kind of lower. But haven't had this much fun on a hero in a really long time.
Why is she so fun? What's the big fun factor for her? So she's skill shot oriented, and if you can land the skill shots, her gameplay is just so fast, and she has
really fun combo. The animations look great. She's just exciting to play, and she can make really, really big plays with your team.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, I definitely suggest if you guys went to BlizzCon or have the BlizzCon virtual ticket, you get her for free. So just, if you haven't played Heroes in a while or anything, hop in, check her out. She's really just really fun, and she's
cool.
The art is gorgeous.
Cool.
So she's been out for a couple weeks. This week, today, actually, Janidor Leoric came out.
Oh,
which people are really
yeah.
stoked about. And
it's a fun skin.
It's so good. And this is again a skin that was initially just somebody from the community came up with this concept, like probably 2 years ago. And as soon as people saw it, it blew up on Reddit. Everyone wanted it. And so it finally got put in game, and it's so good.
That's so awesome.
And then the KMJ, Kevin Michael Johnson Announcer, also got put in game today. And It's only 3,000 gold.
Nice.
So if you guys don't know who Kevin Michael Johnson is, he's super awesome, super cool guy. He's one of those guys that he always seems happy.
I love those kind of people.
Yeah. I mean, he's cool, and he has a good voice. If you've ever watched the HGC stuff, he does all the announcements for like the ads and stuff between games, and
right.
He's super positive, and his announcer is also super positive.
Of course it is.
Like, I think if you kill someone, one of his lines is like, "Well, that guy obviously didn't read the patch notes." Or
That's funny.
yeah, and he reminds you to take talents and stuff. He's like, "Oh,
That's what I need when I'm playing HOTS.
Remember to take a talent."
That's what I need every time I play
helpful.
HOTS. I need to make sure to pick a talent.
Yeah,
I always forget.
he's a cool guy. We're happy to have him in there, and hopefully we get some more community people or personalities added into game. That'd be really cool because they're doing that for StarCraft and stuff.
Yeah. That is a bonus. What?
The other stuff.
Oh, the other stuff. We're going to get into the other stuff now, people. This is the other stuff. I know.
The other stuff.
I know.
So HGC happened at BlizzCon, the finals. And typically around this time would be what's known as roster apocalypse.
Right.
Between, the players just going all over the place, retiring. We've heard some retirements, and then just people swapping teams. Which normally would have probably happened about last week. And then so we're like, okay, it's going to happen this week. Still hasn't happened.
Okay.
But not only that, we really haven't heard anything about HGC going into 2019. And it's not just public. The professional players, to my understanding, also have not heard anything going into 2019.
Wow.
Is it okay? So, and we haven't heard from Blizzard why they haven't heard anything, right?
No.
Okay.
So all there is speculation right now, and again, that is the most important thing: speculation.
Mm-hmm.
There's been a couple of articles come out. I can't find the initial one that I read that was really good, but there's another one that came out today by Tim Rizzo at Invin Global. Talking about possibilities of why it hasn't been announced, and this kind of linking back potentially to the whole Activision Blizzard cutting spending potentially. But the rumor for right now, and again rumor, is that potentially we could see the HGC turn into kind of what it was before the HGC, and that being not weekly play, but really just a couple big tournaments throughout the year with qualifiers.
Kind of more like StarCraft almost, right?
Yeah, or from what I hear, Dota does this as well, which really wouldn't affect the top teams very much because that's where most of the money is coming from anyways, is the prize pools from those big tournaments. But would really hurt the middle to bottom tier teams because potentially there's no player salary or anything anymore,
right?
Which is just a little worrisome because this also, with not having any news on 2019 yet, which should be coming up here soon, that makes it hard to get organizations involved. Makes it hard. I mean, it makes it hard for people to want to become professional players in Heroes of the Storm.
Right.
So,
well, and Heroes has been struggling for years on this whole thing as well, right? I mean, it hasn't been the easiest road for Heroes of the Storm. That's for sure.
Yeah, it's, I love the game dearly, but in truth, it's a MOBA that joined an exploding game type past its prime.
Yeah, far too late.
And they've even talked about, initially when they created this game, they really didn't have any aspirations for it to become an esport. It just kind of did. So in that way, you can, it's kind of successful as an esport, but
Sure.
It's never been, Blizzard's prime esport or anything. I would argue that it's potentially one of the more exciting to watch, but as far as, viewer base and potential for people to make money on it, it hasn't been there. And who knows, potentially nothing changes for HGC in 2019. Maybe they make some tweaks here and there, but it's just really weird and kind of eerie that we have heard nothing up to this point.
And that kind of brings up some thoughts. And you were talking about Activision before, and maybe a new direction for Blizzard as far as where they're allocating their resources and trying to make things work. And I can see how that could be a thing. And so that's kind of weird and could mean some less. I mean, because that would be a lot less play overall for any given season, right? So I mean, it would be if you only have 4 or 5 tournaments for a year, and the lead up to that. I mean, what do you have? Maybe 10, 12 weeks of play, essentially.
Yeah,
I don't know how that works, but.
Yeah, I mean, it just depends if they went this way with a couple of big international tournaments per year, how many teams they're wanting to get in for how long the qualifiers are going to be.
Yeah.
But, there's, potentially a lot of professional players right now who don't make the money from the tournaments, but they make that salary, who currently don't know if they have a salary for 2019.
Wow.
Man, that's tough. And Venjik in chat says they had the same problem with StarCraft the last couple of years. And right. And so, I mean, it is just kind of how, and I don't know if we've heard anything about arena stuff, but that kind of makes me kind of worry about WoW Arena and the MDI and I mean, I just not really worry about it, but it's just kind of in the back of my head going, well, if this could have happened to Heroes of the Storm, could this happen to other games maybe a little bit older? Overwatch League seems set. They've got 8 new teams in at however many tens of millions of dollars it was for them to buy in. So they're in.
Yeah.
That thing's
Overwatch
rolling.
League definitely has a future that we're all aware of.
Yeah.
Right.
But all of the rest seem to be terrifyingly tentative at this point. And that sucks.
Have you heard anything on AWC or on MDI or anything like that leads you to have any concerns? I mean, I'm not saying that there is. I'm just wondering if there is.
I've heard a lot of stuff. Mostly just I'm not worried about whether or not it's going to be around next year or the year after. I know that it will be. It's my understanding that WoW esports are some of the easiest and cheapest. I mean, that makes it sound terrible, but
that actually makes it sound really good. I mean,
okay, well,
from the eyes
of for them to make money from
the eyes of the producers, I mean, it's easy for them to make money off of them.
Sure. So it's not going anywhere, and the MDI is doing really, really, really well. It's exceeding expectations, and it's only getting more exciting. And Arena, I mean, with how successful it was at BlizzCon this year, and with all of the views going up on Twitch for WoW specific esports, I'm not worried about it. I don't think anybody should be worried about it necessarily, but I haven't heard anything about expansion, making it bigger, flashier, or more tournaments or bigger prizes or anything like that. And that's the sort of thing that I would be really, really happy and excited to hear about. But I haven't, and I don't I don't know if that's going to happen.
Yeah,
So.
I don't know if that would happen either, no matter what. But I mean, because they got to make sure that it's something that can last throughout time as well. So they don't necessarily want to jump too quick on, especially making something bigger.
Totally.
So.
And if we're going to take away anything from that Kotaku article, it's that Blizzard is making a consolidated effort to save money, to show growth. And
Yep.
I don't think that, I don't think Blizzard is looking at Overwatch League and going, okay, how do we turn all the rest of our games into Overwatch League?
Right.
I
want to really see a WoW Classic arena division pop up.
It could happen.
Pro esport from WoW Classic. Oh,
W3 is a very popular esport in China, at least. So
sure.
Yeah, you never know.
I think Warcraft 3 is going to make a comeback as an esport with with Reforged coming out.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh yeah,
definitely.
Yeah. For sure.
It's gonna be amazing.
So, I guess only the future will tell us what's going on here. So,
hopefully, the near future.
Yes,
like tomorrow,
hopefully the
please.
near future. That would be awesome. I'd love to hear more about what's happening, especially with HGC. Make sure that is all good to go for next year. That would be great. That would be great.
Yeah.
But until then, we have to go.
Oh.
We have to go. We have to go. We have stuff to do, and yeah. So now is the time on the show where you guys tell folks how they can follow you and check out your shows and hang out with you on a regular basis. So Gizmo, I'll let you go first. What's up?
Well, you can usually find me from about 9 o'clock in the morning to 11 o'clock over at your local coffee shop.
Nice.
If you want to meet there, I haven't been to a coffee shop in years. That's a lie. You can find me on the internets at Gizmozord and my Heroes of the Storm podcast, Lords of the Storm, on Twitter and the internets at Lords of the Storm. We do our live shows Wednesday nights at 9 p.m. Central over at twitch.tv/heroeshearth.
Nice. And Thyst, you guys just dropped another episode of Lagging Balls recently, which is like the first one back from BlizzCon, right? Is it the first
pretty
one?
much, yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's the second one, but the one after was terrible. But this one's really good because I'm not sick.
Right.
But yeah, no, I do Lagging Balls. It's sort of it's kind of like the show except with more swears.
A lot more
do
swears.
A new one. The new ones come out on the weekend. We do a live stream on Friday nights at 10 p.m. EST.
Mm-hmm.
No, 11 p.m. EST. We moved it back, and we just talk about random stuff at that point.
You did that because
and,
of Azeroth Roundtable, right?
Yeah, because they're in that place that doesn't do time zones.
Arizona. So difficult.
We just dance around those two.
Yeah.
But that's okay.
Yeah.
But you can find me at Thyst03 on Twitter. Find all my stuff at laggingballs.com, and you can see what I'm up to professionally. If you have a Snapchat, go to the Discover section and type in Try Hard, all in one word, and follow that.
There you go.
Memes galore.
Memes galore. That is the thing. Okay, I'm going to stop that then, and I'm going to play this. And I don't know why that's weird. The balance is all weird. Anyway, that is going to do it for the show. Thank you so much for joining us. And please join us in on the conversation at any time. You can join the Bazooka Goblin Nation by heading over to converttoraid.com. That's where we have everything. We have show downloads, Discord info, videos, audios, good guild stuff, and more. All over at converttoraid.com, including the Convert to Raid podcast network, featuring shows from you guys and other folks, other regulars on the show. And you can follow us at Convert to Raid on Twitter, and you can follow me personally at Pat Krane on Twitter. That's with a K. Just saying. It's possible. You can do it. You can do it. But that's going to be it for the show. Mega show as we come back from a week off. And thank you, Thyst and Gizmo. Thank you, Twitch chat. And thank you guys, no matter where you're listening to us. We really like it a lot and appreciate it. So for all of the gang here at Convert to Raid, we'll see you next time. Until then, bye-bye, everybody. Bye-bye.
One of these days I'll unpack, like a month before I move again.
It's hard to unpack because all your stuff's already there. So like, what do you need to do?
It's like if I need it, I'll get it out. But if not, just leave it packed for the next time.
It's fine.
I still have a bunch of stuff in boxes, and this week, I finally brought my foam out, all the foam for the walls and such. And so I did a little nice little trick so that I could put it up in my little rented house and not ruin the walls. And
you lick it and you stick it.
You lick it and stick it. That's right. That's what you do. Just lick it and stick it.
That's right. That's what works.